Bueno, ¿qué tal a todos? La audiencia de Vericu. El día de hoy, bueno, yo soy Javier y el día de hoy tenemos un invitado muy, muy especial. Tenemos a Markus Dold de la banda alemana There's a Light. So, hi, Markus. Welcome to Vericu. We're excited to have you guys here and exciting new album. And welcome to this interview.
Hello. Oh, hola. Gracias por la invitación.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you speak Spanish or just some random words?
No, I'm speaking Spanish more or less because my girlfriend is from Costa Rica
Oh,
and
nice.
I have her now for 4 years, and so yeah, every
Pura
time when
vida.
I'm in Costa Rica, I have to speak Spanish. Yeah,
Yeah.
pura vida.
Yeah, pura vida. That's the motto of
Yeah.
the Costa Rican people. So, well,
Yeah.
thank you again for this interview. And how do you guys feel about this new album that recently just came out? Tell us something about you and the album.
Yeah, I think we're all are feeling very proud now because yeah, it's like our second LP, and we're now yeah, we've released it and it is all new. So we're really excited about all the comments we get, all the interviews we are having. We're really excited about the good reputation and everything. So it's excited,
So I
and
guess
we're
it's
really proud of what
all
we made.
part of this new deal with Napalm Records, right?
Mm, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so I don't want to leave this topic behind because I know it's very current. But how do you guys are finding the challenge of promoting this album with this pandemic going on and with all these obstacles?
I think it's of course it's harder now because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
But for us, to be honest, it's everything is new. Like having a lot of interviews, like having to promote the album with music videos, with the session we made, and everything like that.
yeah,
So even it's in the pandemic, it's all new for us. So it's exciting, and yeah, of course we don't have, or we didn't have the chance to make a release party. Like we
yeah,
planned it on the December 18th in a cool venue in our hometown with a Hungarian post-rock band and with another band of uh, like 2 hours away from us, from Koblenz. And yeah, we planned it. We really wanted to promote the album more, like with live shows and everything. But we're really stopped out now. But we we did a lot of things, like 3 music videos. We
yeah,
did a session. We did like interviews, articles, reviews.
yeah.
It's everything
And
so
how
much
was
bigger than before.
yeah, I saw videos for that session.
Yeah.
How was the vibe or how's the energy of playing in that session?
Uh, it was the first session we made, so we made it all by ourselves. We recorded it with like Ableton with a program, and
Yeah,
we recorded everything live. And we had a good friend from another band, Noir, who filmed us, and so it was yeah a bit of a tension because it was the first time. It was
yeah,
excitement as well, and yeah, we really had no other chance to do anything live because of the pandemic. So we filmed it in July, and there was no chance for us to make concerts or something like that.
yeah,
So we had to do a live session, but it was a great experience for all of us. And I think we will do another one maybe next year.
yeah. Hopefully. Okay, so now
Yeah.
let's talk about the new album. Your second album, as you were saying, and how do you guys started this whole creative process, or how do you write together such like epic songs? Tell us more about that process.
Yeah, it was right after our China tour in 2018. Jan and I started, our drummer and I, we started to make some demos, like 4 or 5 songs in his room, and yeah, with home recording and stuff. And I think that was the beginning of the whole songwriting process. We took all of the energy and experience we had in the China tour, and we
Yeah,
were all like played out really well together. And so we had our first demos, and in 2019, after I spent like a half a year in Costa Rica, we met each other, like the five of us, in a like cabin in France, and we started like
Oh, that's
the
nice.
songwriting process, yeah, in the whole group. And Elpis, like our first music video and our first single of the new record, was made in France in like 1 or 2 days. It's just we met each other,
Oh, wow.
and one like
So,
David had a riff, and we built this whole song about around it. And it's almost the same every time. Somebody has an idea or a riff, and then we build a whole song about
okay,
around it. Or maybe we have four, 2 or 3 or 4 fragments, and then we try to make songs. And
around that.
sometimes it's like in little sessions, like in with 2 or 3 people. Sometimes it's the whole band jamming in the rehearsal room. So
Yeah.
it's every time it's a different process, but it's
Yeah.
a great process we're making.
Okay. So you guys secluded yourselves in a cabin in France and
Yeah.
for and until you completed the album, or was just more like a random?
No, it was like it was more like because I was away. I was like 6 months abroad in Costa Rica, and after that it was more like, yeah, long time no see. Let's make music together. So we spent like a whole week together, and
Sure.
yeah, had a lot of conversations, had a lot of yeah, made a lot of music, and thought about how the album should sound like and everything, and
Yeah.
had a lot of fun. And we repeated it in 2020 in France again in
Oh,
an
nice.
old train station. It was really really great. So yeah, we had like these sessions in France in the cabin, or in like in the other house, and some sessions in our home studios and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So now that
Mm.
you mentioned, what was the major change from a long lost silence to for what may I hope? Let's say production wise, creative, all of that tells more because I feel it's more like a mature sound. You know.
Yeah. Major mature sound is a good point. I think we all have grown in these 3 days, 3 years. Sorry, in these 3 years since Longer Science, or even in the process of Longer Science, we learned a lot because we made everything by our own,
Yeah.
and so we taught ourselves like the songwriting things, the production things, the recording things. And so I think everything improved. So not only as like a guitar player or musician, also like in writing songs and having bigger arrangements. And one key it really is that in between our China tour, Jonas, who plays the synth and keys, he rejoined the band in
Okay.
China and said, yeah,
Play again.
he wants to be a member again. And we said absolutely, because he really is a great musician and
Great.
really really uh, helped us a lot in this whole songwriting process. And so yeah, I think we are now, or we are all getting more like more rhythmical, more technical,
Yeah.
more experienced with it. And
Yeah, for
so
sure.
the
And
whole
how hard it is for you as there's a light band to separate. This is my musician side and this is my producer side. So how do you guys ever like challenge yourselves or like crash in opinions or something? Because you produce it
now I think
yourselves, right?
yeah, because we're all self-producing our songs and self-recording our songs. I think
Yeah.
there is, of course, in songwriting or in recording, there may be some clashes and discussions because
Yeah.
five guys, five different influences. I think that's normal, but we, I think there's no like production and recording side. We do it all together, so
Good.
no clash.
So and now you were mentioned the Elpis video and I think the Be Brave Fragile Heart it's also like
Mm,
somehow connected. Are those things like
mhm.
on purpose or And what's the story behind all this? Like, because it's really like emotional videos. How do you
Mhm.
approach that side of the creative too?
I Of course, I think every song in this album has a connection, more or less, because the whole concept of the album is like hope, not
Yeah,
only the good side of hope, but also like the bad side. So the bad side could be if you're hoping for something really strong and you never get to it, you will be disappointed and you will be a few steps back than before. So
sure.
there are two sides of hope, and yeah, every song has something to do like emotional with this topic or this theme of hope. So, um, but like with the music videos, I don't think that was a connection on purpose. That there are like
Okay.
two women, and and Elvis is a woman finding something to hold on to, because Elvis is like Greek in the Greek
Yeah.
for hope, and in Be Brave, Fragile Heart, it was all directed by Jan, our drummer, and written, and he had this idea of this like artistic dancing thing,
Yeah.
and so it fit really well to the
To the
music.
music.
So
Yeah.
it
Absolutely.
was not really on purpose, but that's a good thing. A good thing I think on with these videos, because everybody has his own room for interpretation.
Sure.
So everybody can imagine his own thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, now you were mentioning something that is quite important for me when I was listening to this album. The album feels like a whole thing, like it's connected and
yeah.
some kind of like cinematic structure with rises and falls. How do you conceive an album, or do you go song by song, or you try to have one thing and then separate it?
As I said before, I think we have a lot of ideas. So like a lot of fragments, a lot of riffs, a lot of demos, and we really try to make the best of every idea one of each other has. So I think it's not on purpose that it comes to that we say, yeah, Magnolia should be. We write now a song that's called Magnolia, and this
Yeah.
should be the third song on the album. It's more
Okay.
like we have a lot of songs, and then we try to arrange them
Sure.
how we think this whole album takes you to a journey. So it
Yeah.
should be what's the best after the intro, what's the best after the like Elvis, but song should be there. So yeah, I think it's more like that. What we feel, and we put a lot of emotion in all that stuff.
Sure.
So sorry. So
Don't
it's
worry.
really we put a lot of emotions in these songs and this stuff, and so it's like a discussion in the band how it should be arranged, how it should
Sure.
sound like, and so we put
And
the
the same
songs at.
the same goes with the lyrics. When do you decide to include words into the songs?
That's the same. I think in some songs when we feel that there's missing something, we try like lyrics, and
Yeah.
then if it feels right and if it's the right emotion, we put it in there. And so it's sometimes the songs are like with the arrangement, they're so big that there maybe is no space for lyrics,
Yeah.
but there's space for the music, and this music really transports the emotions. And so the maybe the guitar will do the melodic part and gives you room for interpretation. Maybe the keys or the even the drums or bass. So for us, it's really important that it's about emotions, and
Sure.
if we feel that the song should have
Nice.
lyrics, we put them into it, and if we feel that the music speak for itself, we let it we let the music speak for itself. So
Sure. Sure.
like that.
Absolutely. Now you were mentioning a lot of emotion, and you also mentioned
Mm,
hope. I think
yeah.
that the album title is really like challenging. It's throwing a question out there for you guys probably, or for
Mm.
people. So what are the things that you are hoping for in these crazy times, or things that keep you hopeful? And also, what are you trying to inspire people to hope for?
I think the whole thing with Hope was when we all sat together in a group, and we've really discussed a lot what this album should sound like and what this album should be about. And yeah, it was crazy times with all the pandemic and all
Yeah,
that stuff. And yeah, I think that Hope was really a matter of fact. It was really like something to hold on in this time.
sure.
And everybody, like the whole band, stands for Hope because There's a Light was founded maybe in the beginning. It was founded like when a good friend of Jonas and David passed away in a car accident,
Yeah,
and David had a guitar of his friend, and yeah, he started making music, and this
wow,
music really gave him hope. And like There's a Light is maybe it's a bit cheesy, but There's a Light is like about the light at the end of the tunnel. It
yeah,
gives you
sure,
hope. It
sure,
gives you, and so I think now it was the time to put that into music. And so hope was around us, and not only in the pandemic, it is around us like every time. And I think with hope you can get so much further in life than if you're not
sure.
hoping for something better, if you're not hoping for something beautiful or something like that. I think that's all about it. And
Is
the
is there
title
is
is
there?
about,
I'm sorry. Is there a
yeah,
nostalgia thing there too?
I, maybe it's there, but not on purpose. I think
Okay,
it's because yeah, hope is just there for us. And so
that's
we
yeah,
really
that's nice.
discussed a lot. We really discussed a lot about it. And for example, or like the example of David, he has the example with his friend and hope, that inspires him for making music and all that
Sure.
stuff. And I was, when I discussed with each other, I said, yeah, it's for me like really in the pandemic, it was really, really, really bad. So like with the long-term relationship I have with my
Yeah,
like with the long distance I have with my
sure.
girlfriend. So it was, I booked the flight, and 2 weeks later the government said I can't fly there. So it was really, I was down. And but
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Wow.
we talked a lot about it, to be strong and all that stuff. And so it's, yeah, it's a lot. I think it's really personal sometimes, but we try to put these emotions we have in the music. And so maybe the audience can think about themselves, what they should hope for, what hope should stand for. And that
Yeah,
and hope is necessary sometimes, and it's not like
sure.
an egoistic thing, it's a collective thing. So if we're all hoping for a better
Yeah,
thing,
you're right. That's
we will
probably
get
you
further.
you crossed it, right? On the title.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
That's
why the
amazing.
title is crossed.
Actually,
Yeah.
a song that's quite hopeful, and it's my favorite song on the album. It's Dark Clouds Behind. Do you have any
Hmm.
favorite song or any special baby in there?
So like for me personal,
Yeah,
I think for me personal, Dark Cloud Behind is also one of my favorites
yeah,
because on one thing, like emotional, it was like the first one of the first songs I wrote for the album. So like the riffs and all that stuff. Or like Jan and I made the demo of it. So it was really, yeah, emotional that like, yeah, nearly the whole demo made, like the
yeah,
demo from 3 years ago made it to the album. So it just makes me proud maybe.
yeah,
But it's really beautiful how the song ended, or like the song like from demo, the evolution from demo to the song. And
yeah,
that's making me proud. And that's something that I think that's why it's my my favorite song. But I
yeah,
really love every song on the album, and they're all so, like the arrangements are really great, and they're all well structured, and they're really musical. So it's,
yeah. I
yeah,
agree. I
I think
agree.
every song is my favorite. But on the emotion side, maybe it's Dark Clouds Behind, Bright Skies Ahead.
That's great. That's great. And now let's talk about before we wrap things up, something that I want to change.
Mm,
So the 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 German music history is filled with this, let's say, classical music, and then like this trash heavy metal, and then the techno
Mm.
thing and the pop. What role do you want to play in this whole history of German music or German history?
I I think we don't want to play any role because we feel each other like we are five guys with five different influences, and we try to match these influences in our music, and we try to find our own style. And for us, the most important thing when making music is, I think, is just to touch the feelings of the people, to touch their
Yeah,
emotions. And if the audience likes it, then it doesn't matter if it's like 10,000 people, a million people, or only five people. If we touch their heart, we reach our goal, and that's everything we try to express with our music. Of course, it's a great side effect if you are getting a name in the in the
yeah,
whole scene, and if we are having like millions of listeners and all that, that's a great side effect. And if we should be in the story of German music and should be named there like a good post rock band or something, post metal band or something like that, that's a good place, I think.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we don't try to make a name. So we're not the kind of people who like to be in front and to be
yeah.
like, oh, we're the biggest ones and something like that. We just try to make music because it's our biggest hobby, it's our passion, and if we can get a bigger audience to listen to our music, that's everything we need. And if we can touch their feelings, touch their hearts, it's everything we want to reach with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now that you were mentioned, you touring in China, and I know you did sold
Mhm.
out shows and all that. Any crazy
Yeah.
experience or any crazy anecdote that you lived in China that you want to share?
I think there are many crazy anecdotes
I
because
figured.
it's a real it was a really complete new level for us because when we toured China at first, before we were there, before we came to China, we didn't have an idea that we have such a big fan base that like
Yeah,
that we ever had to play sold out shows. So it was really crazy. Just that was crazy. So I think and we maybe a crazy anecdote. We met a lot of people. We had even people from Germany there who went to Beijing to the first
oh wow,
show and said, "Ah, they're from Germany. They're traveling around." And we met them like 1 week and a half later in Shanghai,
that's
and
awesome.
it was so good. So we had to go there as well, and so we drank a few beers with them. And I think crazy was like the culture, the food,
Yeah, I guess.
everything's around because it's not like in Europe, not at all. And it was like the long rides with the trains,
Yeah,
5, 6, 7 hours and all that stuff. So it was completely surreal.
that's
So
great, man.
I don't have like one anecdote. The whole journey is a cool anecdote.
That's
I
amazing.
think.
So we're
Yeah.
pretty much almost in 2022. I mean, the year is
Yeah.
closing. Any exciting new plans other than the session, or how are you guys approaching the your next plans?
I think for us it's important. After I hope that the whole pandemic. Oh, okay, the whole pandemic thing. I think it will never end. So,
Yeah,
but we have to live with it, and I hope that we can play some songs live or play the whole album live in next year to have some shows. Maybe play to in one or two or three festivals if we get invitation. And yeah, I think the best or the best we wish we have is that we want to play a lot live next year to
yeah,
maybe make some new music if we have the chance to, and just hope for a better future, not only
yeah,
for us as a band in terms of playing live and in terms of having concerts, but also have that everything surrounding has a better future because
Sure.
it sucks. This pandemic sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to your Mexican fans or the very cool audience that's watching you right now?
Mm. Uh, I think enjoy our album. I hope we can play someday in Mexico,
That would
and
be amazing.
maybe, yeah, that will be great because we have it's crazy that we have some fans in Mexico and abroad and
Yeah, I
in the
know.
US, and they're saying, yeah, come to Mexico, come to USA, come to Canada, come to Chile, and everything like that. So really, we're really proud, and thank you for supporting us, all the people in Latin America, for listen to our music, and uh, thank you for being such good supporters.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Marcus. This is the end of the interview, and I really congratulate you guys for an amazing album, and I wish you nothing
thank
but
you,
the best in this uncertain and crazy 2022. And well, thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
for having the interview, or gracias por la entrevista, to wrap things up.
Pura vida. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Pura vida.
I'm just